and it was a lot more run than catch on that 32 yards. Derek, he didn't look a step slower with 25 pounds more on him.
No, he has that's a weapon there. A tight end that can run like that can catch the ball like that. That was one of the things that lived up to the billing in the opener that we saw there. And hey, sometimes it takes a minute to find your true place in life, and it looks like at least through one game, he's found his 6 catches, 75 yards, and a couple of touchdowns tonight for Mr. Knox.
Yeah, one more touchdown than he caught all of last season today with 2. And that 32 yards put Arkansas up 31-17. Huge, proved to be a huge series, as obviously Cincinnati would score one more time. But, Trey Knox, in a world where we're always criticizing and scrutinizing and looking at kids for hitting the portal, doing other things, not being tough, not sticking it out, here's a great example of a young man who couldn't quite crack the top 3 or 4 as a wide receiver, stays at Arkansas, willing to move positions, change his body, do all the work that it took, and he got the reward today with 2 touchdowns. Needs to be pointed out because so often we're talking about the other end of that situation, Derek, where someone seemingly gives up, throws in the towel, and moves on to something else.
Well, and I think that's exactly what Sam Pittman and this staff is looking for when they recruit guys. They look for guys that, hey, it's going to be tough, but you've got to, you got to fight through some things. That's the way this program is. As he said during training camp when a couple of people left, it's not for everybody. That's okay. So I think Trey Knox kind of personifies that kind of attitude that they're looking for when they're looking at players. When it gets tough, you're not going to quit. You're not going to go somewhere else. You're going to stick it out and fulfill your obligation to what you signed on to do here, to your teammates and to the program and frankly, to the fans of Arkansas as well. And like you said, he got rewarded today.
Yeah. 877-377-6963 is the number. You can call or text the program here on Hog Reaction. If you're driving home, headed back to all parts of Arkansas, we want to hear from you as everyone's reacting to this first victory of the season. You want to hit the phones or where you want to head? All right, RD is in Fort Smith. RD, you are up first on Hog Reaction.
Hey, guys. First off, just want to say go Hogs. You guys do a great job what you do. I got several football points here I wrote down to be sure I got all my things said. I won't be long. First off, can I go ahead and say it?
Well, it depends on what you're going to say, RD. You got me a little nervous. Kind of like when that ball was on the ground after that strip fumble. I'm a little nervous.
I'm just building suspense for the listeners. First thing is this. Rocket is wow. That's what I put. Yeah. Rocket is a patient runner for the most part. He uses his hands well to be violent. I think he hits the hole hard. He's everything that I thought he was going to be last year. I thought he did a great job running the ball, doing what he does, and the next thing I've got written down is let's continue to run the ball. I thought that we used him well. He got 20 carries there. If you look at the box, I thought that was good. I'm sure they wrote that down and said they wanted it to get him to 20, and they did. And I thought that was really good. I thought KJ did a good job on the run game as well. The next thing I want to say is our back end is garbage. The secondary I'm not impressed with at all. We should have been torched. That old boy left, that Ben Bryant kid left with 325 yards, should have had 625. We let him throw so many of them balls. He missed them. Now, he started hitting them when we got out to halftime, but me and a buddy were talking about it, and we could not believe how many times. The only thing I'm going to say is this, and I know I'm talking about the mothership, as they call it, but so I'll be soft, but I'm going to say this. It's not really a thing. I'm everybody's own the Card kid, Hudson Card, I believe.
Hudson Clark. Yeah.
Clark, sorry. I'm gonna say this: we didn't look good any position in the back end. Once Catalan went out with the 8 tackles he had, we got real loose back there, and we probably were that way to begin with. The other thing I want to say is, and you hit it, how about our boy Trey? How about Trey Knox being a selfless player in a ego world, in a me first transfer portal environment, and this kid goes out and gets his butt in the weight room, works his tail off, and basically becomes one of the stars of the show, leads our team in receptions, to my knowledge, got 2 touchdowns on the board for us, and blocked 2. So he's totally changed, and you guys hit on the head. He's running faster, just as fast as he ever has. The last thing I got is D-line is suspect. I was not impressed with our defensive line. Bumper Pool was the guardian of the defense there with he's a leading tackler with 13. Drew Sanders is going to bring the wood and hit you in the mouth. I like that. But we got to get a little bit better on the D-line because, like y'all said, this is my last point, and I'll shut up. Like y'all said, Cincinnati may not lose another game. Now, I give our team credit, but we better bring the dog out next week because I'm telling you, we're going to be in trouble against South Carolina, letting that Rattler kid nickel and dime us up and down the field, having him have a bunch of time. Trust the run the ball, go Hogs.
Yeah. RD, that's where I might disagree with you on your last point. Derek, South Carolina's got to prove to me they're a better team than Cincinnati today. So far, they're not looking like it from what you were telling me of the score of that game. I think Cincinnati may prove to be the better or tougher opponent of the first 2. Well, time will tell. We haven't seen all of South Carolina's game, but I'm not convinced South Carolina's measurably better than Cincinnati and the team we saw today.
So a lot to unpack there, RD. We'll get to it as we can here throughout the next little while here. But the point on the secondary, I don't think they're garbage. I just don't think they're deep. Like, they got exposed a little bit today because a couple big guys went down, and maybe some guys that weren't necessarily going to crack the lineup today were forced into action, and Cincinnati made them pay a little bit there. So I think the depth isn't quite there yet, is what I would say.
But I'll say this. What was it, the LSU game where Catalan was injured and went out and didn't return? I don't remember what, but from that point on, they had one game at Ole Miss where they got torched, and then Barry Odom had it fixed. So they didn't get exposed as greatly from the Ole Miss game on. So past that, so yeah, there were some problems today, but we've got evidence, at least from last year, Derek. Or I believe we do, that if there's some problems, Barry Odom has shown that he can fix them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's lots of evidence to support that as you move on. But you don't bank on losing Slusher and Catalan in the same game in the opener, and we don't know an update. Sam Pittman did not provide an update. He is, I believe, this is a theory, by the way. He is conveniently given the injury updates after he speaks to the media, which is smart, by the way, because then he can honestly say, well, I don't have an update. So that's what I think happens there. Anyway, no update from him and from Arkansas as of now on their status for next week for the conference opener against South Carolina.
And really, why would you give an update and help Shane Beamer? Why give him that information?
Another great point, yeah. Unless, absolutely. All right, it is the Hog Reaction here live on ESPN Arkansas, and we're on hitthatline.com. We've got a lot more time to go. We've got a lot more to discuss on this game and everything else going on around the SEC. Our number is 866. No, it's 877-377-6963. I'm going to write that down so I do not screw it up again. 877-377-6963. We'll be back with more coming up here on ESPN Arkansas on Hog Reaction.
This is Hog Reaction live on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Call or text the show at 877-377-6963.
Big weekend of college football getting back underway, and a huge weekend of car selling going on right now at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Whether you're looking for an F-150 Platinum, whether you're looking for a Subaru Forester with a sports appearance package, how about a Chevrolet Silverado LT Trail Boss package truck? We have those and more, priced right, just for you. Come by and see us at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith at Randall Ford.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bushville. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bushville. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch & Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
In the field, the right partner can make all the difference. One that's dependable, straightforward, and is there when you need them. That's LG Seeds. From our hybrids and soybean varieties to our service and support, reliability is in everything we do. Start this season right with LG Seeds. Talk to your local dealer or visit lgseeds.com for more information.
Are you an experienced concrete finisher? Do you want to make the highest salary in the area? Do you want to get paid bonuses for your good work? Then Forest is for you. Apply now from any device, anytime, anywhere at goforestgrin.com. Goforestgrin.com. Apply now at goforestgrin.com. Are you an experienced dump truck driver? Do you want to make the highest salary in the area? Do you want to get paid bonuses for your good work? Then Forest is for you. Apply now from any device, anytime, anywhere at goforestgrin.com. Goforestgrin.com. Apply now at goforestgrin.com.
Champion Cycling, located at 5500 Massard Road, is a locally owned bike shop in Fort Smith that wants to help you find the joy in cycling that has been a part of their family for years. Their goal is to find the right bike for you, whether it's a road bike, mountain bike, or just a bike for leisure. Champion Cycling is totally stocked and has a large selection of bikes, including brands from Specialized, Pivot, and Look. Whether it's fixing a flat tire or a basic tune-up, their dependable service department is always ready to help. Stop by Champion Cycling today at 5500 Massard Road, and they will help you find your joy in cycling.
High-Tech Truck Refrigeration Service is all about God, family, and our country, and they proudly display the red, white, and blue. At High-Tech, they specialize in truck and trailer repair, service, and are certified in refrigeration repair. And every day, give thanks to those who have served our country and paid the ultimate sacrifice for folks like you and me. High-Tech Truck Refrigeration Service, located in Van Buren at 6410 Alma Highway or at 479-474-2220.
Do you have concerns about the integrity of your roof? Liberty Roofing of Fort Smith and the surrounding area is here and ready to serve you. Liberty Roofing is here for all your roofing needs. Quality roofing services, licensed, insured, and certified. Give Liberty Roofing a call at 650-6231 to get started for a free roof inspection and estimate. Call 650-6231. Liberty Roofing is here to tend to all your roofing needs. Let Liberty Roofing cover you. Check us out on Facebook.
I told you that front tire needed air.
I know, Dad.
Where's the tire iron? I told you, always keep a tire iron and a jack.
I know, Dad. I got it. Roadside assistance is included with my shelter insurance auto policy. It's one of the reasons you told me to get it, remember?
Maybe you do listen after all.
At Shelter, listening to you is what we do best.
Ask Shelter agent Phil Hicks about a free insurance review.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Light Beer.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch & Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Hog Reaction.
They give it to Dominique Johnson. Misdirect, left side. Johnson at the goal line. Did he get in? Touchdown, Arkansas!
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
22 seconds to play in the half. AJ's in the gun. Knox set up at tight end. Jump pass. Knocks the intended receiver. He caught it. Touchdown, Arkansas! The jump pass works, and the Hogs are up by 2 touchdowns.
Chuck Barrett on Learfield a short while ago, and here on ESPN Arkansas as Arkansas beats Cincinnati 31-24. This is Hog Reaction. Derek Ruskin along with Tommy Kraft. Drew Barrett is with us as well. And let's talk to Cody in Rector. Hey, Cody, you're on Hog Reaction. Cody? We have lost the
Hey,
code
fellas,
man.
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Go ahead.
I was really proud of the way the Hogs played tonight. I think the secondary needs a little work. There was a lot of corners getting beat deep. I like that Dominion backup running back that backs up Rocket Sanders. I think he played a really good game. He had 2 big plays in the game. I think they should give him more carries. I like the way the kid runs the ball and catches the ball. Our O-line, they need a little bit of work also. But all around, I think they played really well tonight.
All right, Cody. Thank you so much for the phone call. I'm glad you brought up Dominion there, Cody, because boy, that was like a B-12 shot in the game when he popped on. I mean, he jumped off the screen when that guy made an appearance in the game there early in the third quarter, I think it was. And,
ended up with 2 carries, 18 yards. But without Dominic Johnson, you needed someone else to change the pace a little bit besides A.J. Green, because Sanders had 20 carries by the time the day was over. So I'll be interested, Derek and Drew, to see what that dynamic looks like once they get Dominic Johnson back.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Big Rob is on the phone in Springdale. Hey, Big Rob, you're on Hog Reaction.
Hey, guys, how y'all doing?
Great. What's up?
Hey, well, Tommy kind of stole my thunder there a little bit. I was going to talk about the running game. I was real curious I'm really curious to see what's going to be like when we have Dominic Johnson back at that line, and of course you bring a new freshman Dominion in, and I think we've got a lot of work to do, but I'm impressed. It's the first game against a quality opponent. Yeah, it's not the same Cincinnati that went to the playoffs, but a lot of the elements are still there. Same head coach, and the quarterback he's pretty salty, especially in the second half. We do have some work to do on the secondary, but then again, we lost Catalan and Slusher, which I think, like you guys had pointed out earlier, you brought some guys that probably won't crack the starting line in. So a little hopeful that we'll get better there. Of course, we have Barry Odom, and we got some tape now, and we have tape against a quality opponent. But I also want to bring up the transfers. I forget how to pronounce his name. The kid from LSU that had the first interception was big.
McLaughlin.
Hazenwood. Yes, sir. And then the guy from Oklahoma, Hazenwood, and then Sanders next to Bumper Pool. I'm really impressed with Pittman's ability to bring in these types of players, almost like bringing in free agents type guys. So I'm excited. We do have a lot of work to do. A win's a win, and really excited to see what happens with South Carolina next week. And that's all I got, and hope you guys have a great evening.
All right. Thank you, Big Rob. Good to hear from you. By the way, just a real quick, and then we can get back into this game. At halftime, it is South Carolina 12, Georgia State 7. That's the halftime score from Columbia.
And I'm not we've got Ohio State and Notre Dame on. We're rooting for the flood or the tornado right now at the
stadium
shoe.
to fall down.
Something. We're rooting for the referees, so I haven't got that one on. I'll watch it later, but you'll have a hard time convincing me, at least at this point, at 8:21 p.m. on this Saturday night, that next week's game will have a tougher opponent. I hope I don't eat those words, but just scoreboard watching and knowing what we saw today, South Carolina has got a ways to go to probably catch the quality of Cincinnati.
Yeah, and another thing I'd say, though, is kind of like in Arkansas's game, like the first half was just, it's the early rounds of a fight. It's just kind of feeling things out and getting through it more or less. So, I'm not one anymore to, jump on Twitter and overreact to a quarter or a half or whatever. Not that you are, but I'm just saying that it's Arkansas didn't exactly light the world on fire in the first half either in their game. So.
Well, but let me break out the old adage for you, Derek, because we only get to use it once a year.
What's that?
The greatest improvement is win between games 1 and 2. So,
right. Got to get that in.
We got to get that old adage in. So, so we'll see what things look like next week. But I think the reason it's cliche is because it's true, because there will be a lot of corrections based on the film. All right, coming up in about 10 minutes, I just want to tease this and we head back to the phones. Chuck Barrett's going to join us, our own Chuck Barrett, who called the game today. We just heard some highlights. He's going to hop in for a visit in the next segment. So if you're planning your drive home, maybe take the long way around, hang with us for a little bit while longer, because Chuck's going to be on with us in about 12 minutes or so here on Hog Reaction.
All right, looking forward to hearing from the man who called the game right here on ESPN Arkansas earlier tonight. Let's go back to the phones here on Hog Reaction, and I think it's Gary in Fort Smith. Gary, what's going on tonight, man?
Hey, guys. Glad the Hogs won. I'm very concerned about the punishment already that KJ's taken. I don't think he can make the year with the punishment. I know he's tough. I know he's big, but, man, every time he goes around the end, it scares me. And, we've got a tough schedule ahead, very physical. And, they showed him on the sideline several times, hobbling, and looked like he took a shot to the ribs. And I'm just concerned about that going forward, how we can protect him better, because we've got a long way to go.
Yeah. Gary, it's a good call and a good concern. Derek, and this is probably a fan take right here, but I just wonder how much, not just KJ, but other quarterbacks, and you saw Ben Bryant today. He got battered pretty good as well. But how much are these quarterbacks and those that have been who have gotten mail in green jerseys for the month of August going to have a little bit of acclimation and sore bodies more than their teammates, because their body isn't acclimated to the contact because they've been protected all month? I think we saw some of that, and maybe that's a fanboy take, but I think there's some reality to the fact that when you haven't been hit and only thudded up at times, it's going to take you a game or two to get acclimated to that level of contact.
Kind of goes back to the game 1 to game 2 improvement, because there is stuff that happens in a game that they just don't do in training camp anymore. There's a lot more tackling in general in a game than they do in training camp nowadays. So I've seen across 3 nights of football now, there have been some tackling issues across the sport.
Yeah.
It's because they don't hit in training camp anymore. So these things will probably improve moving forward. I think you've got a solid point there on the quarterback getting hit, but man, he got late in the second quarter in particular, I think, is the moment that Gary was referencing there, when he really got folded up there and was in some discomfort and slow to get up after one of those plays, and just, everybody is just, on pins and needles at that point. But yeah, but here's the thing about all this. The modern, recovery, training, cold tubs, all that stuff. I mean, these guys are tough and they're young and they can get through it. But, and also, the methods to recover after a game have changed drastically in 10, 20 years. So.
Well, Derek and Tommy, you just got to build up scar tissue. I mean, that really is all that it is. I mean, we've all known this. I mean, the first time you get hit, you get a little jarred. The more time you get hit, the more reps you get in there, the easier it is to take, the easier it is to kind of shake off those little nagging pains that you have throughout your body. It's just building up that scar tissue. And when it comes to this game in week 1, I don't know if it went the exact direction everybody thought it was going to go, other than the fact that it was a hard-hitting game by 2 very physical teams. But let's also put this in perspective. Cincinnati is a really good team. They probably will not lose a game for the rest of the season unless it's against Houston in an American Athletic Championship game. And this is a good team.
And, Drew, just to drive home your point about the level of physicality in today's games, I mean, look at the 17 times the Razorbacks knocked off the Bearcats' helmets today. I mean, my gosh.
Including one without anybody touching
They
them.
had them things strapped on and welded tight, and, boy, the Razorbacks just came in there. And have you ever seen a game in your life that had more helmets for one team? This wasn't – do you remember Razorback's helmet coming off?
No.
If it happened, it was
I think one time.
maybe once. There had to be, and I'm not exaggerating, at least a dozen?
At least, and I'm just glad.
I have never seen such a thing.
As a fan of drinking games, I'm really glad I didn't play that one, because, Tommy, I wouldn't
We'd be
here.
at Betty Ford right now.
Yeah, there'd be problems there. I thought, I thought it went to kind of the sloppiness of Cincinnati, just not being in. not taking care of the little things in the ball game. If I'm Fickle, maybe you make all the players wear their helmets around campus all week to learn the lesson here. I don't know, but yeah, that was pretty remarkable. Part of this game here today.
They need to buckle up. It's a 2 chin strap game out there.
I mean, Houston Nutt said it best. You got better buckle up both chin straps at Razorback Stadium, and Cincinnati didn't do that very often. All right, we're going to hit a break here, and when we come back, we'll talk to Chuck Barrett, who called the game earlier tonight here on ESPN Arkansas, as Arkansas defeats Cincinnati 31-24. Drew Barrett, Tommy Kraft, Derek Ruskin here with you. It's Hog Reaction on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
When it comes to your gas bill, one size does not fit all. So AOG offers many payment options. Did you know you can arrange to pay online with the click of a mouse or pay by phone? You can even sign up for automatic bill payment from your checking or savings account. AOG also has a paperless billing option to reduce that clutter in your mailbox. Of course, you can bring your payment to our 24-hour drop box or to one of many convenient locations throughout our service area. To find a payment option that's a perfect fit, visit AOGC.com.
Late breaking news! Central Hydraulics has teamed up with Wacker Neuson to meet your ever-growing equipment needs. Wacker Neuson offers loaders, excavators, skid steers, telehandlers, and more. Central Hydraulics is also your Gates Hydraulic Hose Center. Stop by today at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
Celebrate the end of summer this Labor Day with your favorite beers from Sody's Wine and Spirits. Sody's has the biggest selection of cold beer, domestics, imports, and craft beers with over 600 to choose from. Get your Sody Sixer with 6 unique craft beers. Sody's Beer Cave has the biggest and coldest selection of your favorite beers. If you need a keg or fresh growler, Sody's has you covered. Experience different this Labor Day at Sody's Wine and Spirits. Phoenix Avenue at I-540 in Fort Smith. Online at mysodys.com or download the Sody's app.
Road Chevrolet Van Buren is hosting their second annual car show, Saturday, September 10th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. right out front on the lot. Hot rods, food truck, giveaways, face painting, and vehicles of all makes and models. This event will be fun for the whole family. Have a cool car or know of someone who does? Call Savannah Neal at 479-474-4000. Road Chevrolet Van Buren, exit 2A off I-540. Prices you'll love, people you can trust.
Fishing never stops. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle has everything from jigs to raincoats, Todd Huckabee crappie rods, Bobby Garland crappie jigs, and stay warm and dry with a River West rain suit, the area's largest selection of Zoom plastics, Flash Mob Jr., Kitech swim baits, Mega Bass rods, plus rattle traps, life jackets, and rod and reel repair. Find all the top brands and everything you need at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 1 mile east of I-540 on Highway 64. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
You know the Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment in Fort Smith is your go-to shop for everything pressure washers. But did you know that they also handle your industrial pump and supply needs too? It doesn't stop there. Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment's industrial vacuum trucks can handle dry, liquid, and even sludge removal from several hundred feet away. Leave the cleanup to the professionals. Contact Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment at 782-3762. That's 782-3762. Sunbelt Chemical and Equipment, 3116 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith.
When you need to customize your ride, whether for work or play, check out River Valley Truck Outfitters. Full line of LED lights for your headlights to work lights, B&W hitches, toolboxes, ladder racks for all your work needs or play, grill guards to full front bumper replacements, full line of WeatherTech and Husky floor mats. Let River Valley Truck Outfitters get your window tinting on. Best prices and quality in the Fort Smith area. River Valley Truck Outfitters can get your ride ready on Highway South 71 on top of Rye Hill. 648-8855. That's 648-8855.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit PatriotTransport.com to apply. That's PatriotTransport.com.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins today.
You're listening to Hog Reaction.
They give it to Dominique Johnson. Misdirects left side. Johnson at the goal line. Did he get in? Touchdown, Arkansas!
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Hampton and Nichols are the two interior linemen. Williams and Jordan Dominic are the ends. Second down and 12 from the 39. Bryant hit as he throws. Ball comes out. Razorbacks pick it up at the 49 of Cincinnati. Jordan Dominic comes out of there with a football, and the Razorbacks force the turnover.
That, of course, Chuck Barrett earlier here on ESPN Arkansas. The big play of the game there, the fumble recovery there by Jordan Dominic as Arkansas beats Cincinnati 31-24. And with us now on the hotline is the man who called the game earlier here on ESPN Arkansas, Chuck Barrett, joining us here on Hog Reaction Live. And Chuck, it's good to speak to you, and it's especially good after a win.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it was a long game. Gosh, that was a long game. Long day. Sam Pittman said, I'm glad it's over, and I just wanted to say I'm with you, man, because it was just that kind of day.
Would you classify it as sloppy? It looked like a game one. Both teams had a lot of errors, but Chuck, at the end of the day, it seemed like Arkansas capitalized on Cincinnati's error more than the other way around.
Well, you don't see very many first ball games where you come out and say, man, we're set. I mean, we're in mid-season form. Most of the time when you play a first ball game, when you get done, if you win, you say, yeah, but. And, that's kind of, what I think some people probably are saying right now. But, hey, they beat a good team. I mean, that's the thing. They're playing a ranked team. I mean, and Cincinnati did some good things. They did some bad things. And Arkansas did some good things and did some bad things too. And but there aren't very many people that are going to walk away from their opener and feel like, man, we're set. Georgia may feel that way, but I don't know anybody else that does right now.
Chuck, one of the things I was thinking about here as we were getting ready is just the momentum continues. With the win today, Arkansas football has had this wave of momentum through last season and then into the offseason. And you can even, as a Hog fan, you can broaden the scope and talk about basketball and baseball. And just the momentum around Razorback football specifically, though, continues with this performance today.
Well, the bottom line is they won the game. We're not that far removed from getting run off our own field by some teams that were really inferior to us. So, to be where we are today, I think is pretty remarkable. This is a good team. They beat a good team today. I know South Carolina's kind of struggling right now, but they'll get better too. And, Arkansas, there were a lot of positives that came out of today. There were always, as there are in first games, you look back and go, man, I'm glad he overthrew that guy. He might not overthrow him in the second week, but he might not be that open in the second week either. And so, both sides made mistakes. And, I know people will focus, well, their receivers got behind the secondary. Well, sometimes that happens, especially in the first game when you get guys hurt. But then on the other side, Cincinnati say, man, we had guys running wide open, and we don't have a quarterback that can get them. So, both sides are going to come out of this thinking that we got a lot of work to do. The good side for Arkansas is they say that having won the ball game, and I don't think that's anything you ever take for granted.
Chuck, it's hard not to feel great for Trey Knox. We were talking earlier before you joined us that in the world of the transfer portal, in the NIL world, where it's so easy to find greener pastures on the other side of the fence, here's a player that stayed at Arkansas, changed his position, changed his body type. Last year caught one touchdown pass. Today in the first game, 2. Had a tremendous day with 6 catches and 75 yards. Hard not to feel good tonight for Trey Knox.
Well, you have to be happy for Trey Knox, and you have to be happy for the coaches and the team because, Trey Knox, yes, he could have left, but he wouldn't have done much more as a wide receiver anywhere else. They sold him on the idea of becoming a tight end, and he bought into it. And he went to work, and he changed his body, and he did it in a way that did not take away his speed. or his quickness. He's built up his body in the way an athlete builds up his body. And, yeah, he gets a lot of credit. I'm going to be honest with you. 2 or 3 games into last season, I thought Trey Knox was gone. I didn't think he would factor into the season, and I just assumed that he would leave at the end of the year. And but he got a little taste of that tight end, and he realized that that's where he was going to play, and they convinced him, and rightly so, that if he changed his body and played the position well, that's the spot where he'd make some money someday. And I think that he's bought into that, and you've seen a complete makeover in a player that is a wide receiver was, not too far away from being a bust. But as a tight end, he's got a chance to be a professional football player.
We're talking with Chuck Barrett here on Hog Reaction after Arkansas's 31-24 win today over Cincinnati. We haven't talked about this yet, but at the end of the game, Cincinnati has got some momentum. They've cut it to a 7-point game. Arkansas gets the ball back, and they don't give it back to Cincinnati. And a couple things stand out to me there. Number one, KJ Jefferson making plays. And number two, it just feels like the continuity with everybody being around a while kind of helped calm that situation where there have been games throughout the sport this weekend where I've seen, in a situation like that, the other team does get another chance to go down and maybe tie the game.
Well, that's what a good offensive line does for you. That's what being a physical football team with the ability to run the ball does for you. When you get to that stage of the game and you've got to run to win, they're able to do that, and their offensive line is, able to make blocks and allow them to do that. And yeah, I thought that was, that was a key, it was a key part there at the end of the game. I mean, it was crucial. But that's what good teams do, and that's why I think that, at the end of the day, there are always things that you look at in the first game and say, man, we got to get a lot better there. But what you're talking about right there, not every team in the country, in fact, not many teams in the country can take the ball in that situation, run it, and not give it back. And they were able to do that against, again, a team that was in the playoff last year, a ranked team this year, and they may not lose another game. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know if you remember in that first series Arkansas had after Cincy had scored with 5:49 to go, but that 3rd and 9 where things broke down. I don't know if that was a design run, but KJ took off, and that was more or less the ball game in many ways because there was 4 minutes left in the game at that point. That guaranteed you another 2 minutes. It forced Fickle to call his timeouts. That was a huge 3rd and 9 play, guys, that if KJ doesn't convert that, we may be sitting here talking about something different tonight.
Well, that's where you need KJ to be KJ. And that's what he does in moments like that. And he's got the ability to take over a game with his legs. I'm not talking about play after play after play, but in a situation like that, he gave Arkansas, what would prove to be the ultimate control of the ball game with that run. Now, he's not perfect on his passes, and I'm sure he'd tell you that he's got room for improvement. But, there's a competitive spirit within that guy. And I think that's what makes him so good. I think that's why he makes crucial runs and crucial moments. He does not shy away from the big moment. And you've got to have that in a quarterback. Sometimes it's with a great pass, but sometimes it's with a big run. But KJ's not afraid to have the ball in his hand when all the money's on the table. And that's what you've got to have at that position.
Chuck Barrett with us here on Hog Reaction on ESPN Arkansas and on hitthatline.com. Looking forward, Georgia State just took the lead on South Carolina in the 3rd quarter. So Tommy and I have been wondering, is the team you beat today better than the team that you play next week in South Carolina?
Well, every week's different. Every week's different. And it sounds like South Carolina is going to have to fight for their lives to get out of there tonight. And, here's the thing. I remember 1 year ago at halftime, we're thinking, man, we're going to have to fight for our lives to beat Rice. And then things got better. They won the ball game, and by the end of the year, we were all convinced that, and rightly so, that everything was headed in the right direction. I don't know what's going to happen with South Carolina tonight, but, they've got a good coach, and he's a new coach, from an experience standpoint. I know he's been there, but from an experience standpoint, he's a new coach. They got a new quarterback who's very good. But they've got growing pains just like everybody else.
Well, I was always taught there's never a bad moment for a free plug. So give me the Hogs Chuck podcast. You'll roll out another edition, this time a Labor Day edition, Monday morning.
That's exactly right. And I'm going to catch my breath tonight, and we're going to put it together tomorrow, and we're going to talk about the ball game. And obviously we'll have a good bit of post-game reaction, and looking forward to that, and looking forward to being with you guys Monday morning.
Ruskin was wondering, does his royalty check come at the first of the month, the middle of the month? When are you going to mail those out? He was asking earlier.
You just keep looking, Derek, and you go out there at the first of the month, the middle of the month, last of the month, and who knows? Maybe one day it might not be there.
The check is in the mail.
That's right, absolutely.
Yeah, it's in the mail. It's in the slowest of mails.
Chuck, be careful driving back to wherever you're headed tonight, and probably headed to get a little bit of rest after a long, lengthy ball game, and we'll look forward to hearing you Monday morning. Yes, we will be here for Labor Day with the Morning Rush, and Give Me the Hogs Chuck podcast at 6 a.m. as well. Enjoy what's left of the weekend.
All right, guys. Thank you. Have a good night.
Chuck Barrett with us here following Arkansas's 31-24 win. And again, second edition and kind of a game recap, I'm sure, coming up with Chuck on his podcast. You can find it, Derek, at hitthatline.com, and in case you didn't know. So.
That's right. And wherever podcasts are found
or
as
sold.
Well. Or sold. That's right. I had
the
to
price
explain
is
to
right.
someone one time that I said that one time. I said, well, you can find us wherever podcasts are sold. And someone came in here and said, we're not selling podcasts. Like, yes, it's just an expression. Yeah. It's okay. All right.
Don't let the truth get in the way of a good line.
That's right. Exactly. Okay, we'll come back and we'll get back to your phone calls. Let's do that. Let's hear from some Hog fans here at 877-377-6963. Tommy, Ruskin, and Drew with you here till 9:30 on Hog Reaction on ESPN Arkansas.
This is Hog Reaction live on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Call or text the show at 877-377-6963.
Big weekend of college football getting back underway, and a huge weekend of car selling going on right now at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Whether you're looking for an F-150 Platinum, whether you're looking for a Subaru Forester with a sports appearance package, how about a Chevrolet Silverado LT Trail Boss package truck? We have those and more, priced right, just for you. Come by and see us at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith at Randall Ford.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Why do people do business with First Western? Because First Western builds relationships with all of their customers. They partner for the long haul to help you with your financial goals over all seasons of life. First Western is prompt, responsive, and they deliver with quick answers and on-time loan closings. When is the last time your banker called you? If you are looking for a high level of service and a financial partner who will listen and respond, try First Western. For more information, visit them online at firstwestern.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You never know what you will walk up on or find over the hill at the Tackle Box. For almost 50 years, the Tackle Box has been your home for hunting and fishing supplies and some of the best outdoor stories. Whether guns, ammo, fishing supplies, or home decor, come back and see them again. They even buy your old fishing tackle or guns. The Tackle Box, your sports store for hunting, fishing, firearms, and more. 3010 Street, Fort Smith, 646-3193.
The adventure starts at the Tackle Box for sportsmen just like you.
Cooler weather is on the horizon. If football games and fall festivals are on your list of things to do and places to go, make sure your vehicle's maintenance is up to date first. This is Mark with W&W Automotive. Keeping your car and truck on a seasonal maintenance schedule will ensure better gas mileage, better wear on your tires, and a safer trip wherever you go. To schedule a fall tune-up, call me or Kelly at 242-1600 or drop by W&W just off Townsend on South O in Fort Smith. That's W&W Automotive, a bumper-to-bumper certified shop.
When it comes to your vehicle dent repairs, you want a local professional that you can trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair is your place. Michael, his family, and team have been in the community for over 30 years and are the best in the business. When all the other pop-up hail damage places have packed up and left town, Littleton's is still here taking care of your vehicle every day. Stay local. Stay with the best. Stay with the name you know and trust. Littleton's Paintless Dent Repair. Highway 112 off I-540 in Pecola.
From the very beginning, large landowners and homeowners have recognized the incredible value for the build quality Bad Boy mowers are known for. Everyone deserves a better finish cut, and at Alma Tractor in Alma, we invite you to compare a Bad Boy mower, pound for pound, price for price, and you'll find yourself mowing with an attitude. That's Alma Tractor and Equipment in Alma, or check out almatractor.com.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
Wave Rural Connect has opened their Lutherville zone, serving Hagerville, Knoxville, Lamar, and Ross areas with fiber internet starting at $49.95 a month. TV and phone service available too. Sign up now and the $100 install fee is being waived. Call 833-492-8372 or go online to signup.waveruralconnect.com and get the best customer service available and the fastest internet from Wave. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins today.
This is Hog Reaction.
Jefferson in an empty set. Got trips to the left. He's going to throw. Fay toward the corner. Pass. They fight for it, and it is caught. Caught by Rocket Sanders for a touchdown.
I'm behind Lisa on the bridge, and I have jumped off. I am in the river.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Arkansas wins 31-24 over the Cincinnati Bearcats today in Fayetteville. And this is the first Hog Reaction of the year here on ESPN Arkansas and on hitthatline.com. And representing tonight from the ESPN Arkansas Galaxy of Stars, Drew Barrett, Tommy Kraft, and I'm Derek Ruskin. 877-377-6963 is how you can be a part of the program. And we'll go through some texts here in a minute that we have gotten on the text line. We've also got Kent on the phone, so let's hear from Kent right now here on Hog Reaction. Hi, Kent.
Hey guys. Well, I'm going to say, of course, I'm thrilled with the game. I hope we fans do not underappreciate what Coach is doing. And I was there at the game, row 11, it was the quietest fan reaction game overall that I ever remember. And I've been going to games since I was a small kid, and I'm 55 now. So fans have really got to get into it. And I think part of that may be because we don't really have it was a little disjointed game, a lot of really long timeouts, TV timeouts, and we don't have a big rivalry with Cincinnati, but I was impressed with our wide receivers. We clearly have some answers there. Maybe our cornerbacks are a bit suspect, but overall an encouraging start. We're, I think, a little fortunate their quarterback was not more accurate, and he's a new quarterback, obviously. But great starts. Hopefully we'll just keep going up from here.
All right, Kent, thank you for the phone call. On the atmosphere, there's a couple of things that could be a factor, I think, contributing to that. Number one, most Arkansas fans thought they would destroy this team, and they won by 7. So there was a little bit of nerves there with that. And number two, I mean, let's be honest, it's a regular Arkansan. It's very difficult to go to a game anymore. I mean, it is a hundreds and hundreds of dollars of an endeavor to get there, and they cater to maybe a little more of a corporate crowd, and they're not going to get as rowdy in games sometimes.
Yeah, I would just disagree with Kent from this standpoint. What happened with Cincinnati when they got that ball down on the north end at the 3-yard line? The north end showed out. I mean, 2 false starts and 2 delay of games, and it essentially took points off the board. So there may have been moments, Kent, that it wasn't as loud as we all would have liked. But when it counted, and that was a moment where it meant a lot, was down when Arkansas had kind of messed the bed themselves, had the fumble, recovered at the 3. We remember the scenario in the first half, and Arkansas needed a stand. And the crowd came to life. Coach credited the crowd for that and essentially showed up with, more than 10 yards of penalties that came out of the stands, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true too. And I thought the way Cincinnati went down on the opening drive of the third quarter, that's always a risky thing for the visiting team because, let's be honest, even in a college halftime, most people aren't back in their seats. It looked like a lot of the students left in the upper deck anyway, and some in the upper reaches of the lower level too. So that's an interesting crowd dynamic there early on in the second half because most people aren't back in their seats. They were able to go down and score there, and it kind of took a little bit of the buzz out of the building there, just a little bit.
Yeah, and it's about momentum, big plays, Drew, big sacks, big moments always bring the crowd to life. But I thought when the crowd knew their role, and I come back and point to that possession that Cincinnati had in the red zone. Ben Bryant had a lot of trouble today in the red zone, and their kicker had a lot of trouble. How much the crowd had to do with that, only he could answer. But I know that one series where the momentum of the game and maybe the outcome of the game could have shifted. Mm-hmm. Penalties and you got to credit the crowd to a degree on those delay of games and false starts. Were the difference in the outcome of that possession.
Yeah, you have to give credit to the crowd for that. I mean, because the way that these stadiums are set up, I mean, it's not like Ben Bryant isn't staring at a game clock. He knows how much time's there. He just can't communicate to his team and to the line and everybody else to get everything in motion because of how loud it was. 74,000+ people in a building, which, say what you will, to get 74,000 people to agree to do anything, even just to go to a ball game, it is a miracle of God. So I think it was a great crowd. Was it the best crowd I've ever seen? Probably not, but it was still a really good crowd. And you got to think, there's probably 95% of college football games that were played today. They would have loved to have that 74 there.
I am very proud of myself. Remember we were talking about crowd?
Yeah.
And it fell on my shoulders to set the over-under.
It did.
And what did I say?
75.
I said 74,000 over-under.
Okay, yeah.
What was the announced attendance today? 74,751. So that was a good number. So
that was a good one.
That's a good crowd for a season opener, 230. A non-Power 5 opponent, but a ranked opponent.
It was a good crowd. It was a great crowd. It looked great on TV to have in the first half that stadium it looked pretty well full everywhere. And that drive you were talking about there, Tommy and Drew, remember, they got the ball on the 3-yard line there.
That's what I'm
the
saying.
3-yard line, there's 4 penalties, and all they could get is a field goal from the 3-yard line, talking about Cincinnati, that made it a 4-point game there, 21-17. Everybody is thinking, oh, no, touchdown, they're going to tie the game. They're right there at the 3-yard line, but it did not happen. Cincinnati with mistakes, but Arkansas's noise there at the stadium causing some of those communication issues there.
Are you able to see the text?
No, I can't see it.
Let me read through a few of them. We've got a pile of them stacking up here tonight. Let's see. Let's start with Travis from Van Buren. Thought the game was ugly, but he's glad to get the win. A lot of work to do on defense, says Travis. No pressure on the Cincinnati quarterback. We have to do better putting pressure on the quarterback. So let's look here. Looks like 4 quarterback hurries tonight for the Razorbacks recorded, 3 sacks in the game. I don't think Ben Bryant looked really comfortable out there tonight, guys.
Well, through 2.5 quarters, it didn't seem like Arkansas's front could really control the line of scrimmage. But you get late in the third quarter and definitely into the fourth, I think that's when as many people expected, the physicality finally started to wear down Cincinnati. But did they were they affecting the game in the first half? Not all that much, no. I didn't think that the push was there against a good offensive line out of the American, but that's an offensive line from the American Conference nonetheless. So, but as the game wore on, they did get something going later on, I thought, Drew.
Yeah, I think they did, and you kind of, especially in the second half, even when Ben Bryant was able to make some more connections than he was in the first half, he never seemed comfortable back there. You know, we saw games last year in the SEC where the pressure wasn't there. You know, the Auburn game is the best example of that. Bo Nix could have sat back there, done the dishes, done his laundry, done his taxes, and still had plenty of time to throw it. He felt comfortable. Ben Bryant never looked comfortable throughout the entire game. So whether that was from pressure on previous plays or pressure of what he's seeing up front, because you got to remember, guys, on TV, it looks like they're pretty far away. But when you're in that pocket, any sort of movement that is going on in front of you, lateral to the sides of you, that's going to make you uncomfortable. And Ben Bryant was uncomfortable all day.
Jay from Alma wants to know if there's an update on Catalan or Slusher since, I mean, we've been doing a radio show. You may have paid attention to Twitter more, but you guys seen anything? I haven't seen anything.
No, I haven't seen anything on that yet, no.
Yeah, it may be, and I'm not sure what Coach will say on Monday in his regular press conference. I don't imagine we're going to learn much about that, and knowing Coach Pittman, it's going to be pretty coy, whatever he says. He's probably not going to give you a lot of clues on that. Jody and Harrison think special teams was one of the big differences in the game. Hacker and Harrison says 2:30 game callers for the post-game show here aren't as hammered as 6 o'clock game callers.
That is true.
I tend to agree with that.
As I've done some middle-of-the-night post-game shows, that is correct, yes.
Jeremy in Clarksville says, thank goodness they didn't give a point every time their helmets popped off. We would have lost. No, that's no kidding. Joseph in Cove says, let's talk about the real issue, chin straps on Cincinnati helmets. No doubt about that. I've never seen a game that had that many helmets come flying off as well. Tim's listening in Palm Beach. He had to listen while out of the county tonight with us. He agrees with us. Sloppy, but not as sloppy as Cincinnati. And I think Chuck summed it up best, guys. How many teams are pleased with the way they played? Maybe Georgia, like he was saying, who dominated Oregon. Other than that, everyone's going to have a sentiment, well, we got to get a lot better if we're going to win.
How does Georgia work after a performance like that? Like every other team in the country, even if you won, like Arkansas, you've got things to work on. What are they doing in Athens all week? There didn't seem like there was much to work on after that performance.
Well, we've seen a lot of Alabama teams do the exact same thing, and then Nick Saban gets up to the podium on Monday and tells us about all the things that they had to work on. So apparently there are always, according to Nick Saban, there's always small things you can improve on, even when you do beat a team by 60.
You don't want to have them run through you like crap through a tin horn. We know that.
Right. Yes.
All right, Ruskin, you always like a good hot take. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
Piggy Small says Malik Hornsby should be on the field at all times.
At all times?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That just seems like a hot take that would be right up your alley. Not that you'd agree, but just that's the kind of hot take I know you enjoy.
He had one carry. He tried to throw that double pass, and that didn't work out. Oh, I don't know. I mean, it seemed like what they're doing is working pretty well right now.
Yeah.
So,
all right, this one's for Drew. Does the American Athletic Conference not use chin straps on their helmets? I figure I'd throw that one
to
you.
They do. It's in the budget.
AAC
I don't know what Cincinnati's equipment guys are doing. Were they too loose? Is it? what was it, about five between the last 10 to 5 years, it became uncool to wear knee pads. Is that the new trending in sports? Is it uncool to wear a chin strap?
They had them on. I don't know. I don't have an explanation.
Well, I guess
and you could see them watching the game.
The best way to describe it is kind of the way that they did it during the broadcast. There's a thin line, I guess, between safety and comfort. Maybe they need to get a different style of chin strap to where it has a little bit more gel in there. I don't know.
I think they need to weld them on or something. I don't know. All right, more text. You can call or text. We prefer you call. We'd rather chat. We're kind of old school. 877-377-6963. This from the 479. This proves we're not there yet, but we are on our way there, and that the best coach for us was hired, and we need to all trust in him. I don't think there's a large percentage out there that doesn't believe in Sam Pittman right now.
No. I think it's a very, very minuscule percentage that is not believing right now. No, absolutely.
Brad in Sellersville, he's driving back on 412, said he just saw another Bearcat helmet rolling down the highway there. Zach is at Paragould. South Carolina does not have an O-line. Texas A&M stinks. Hogs go 4-0 and beat Bama at home. I know who had a good tailgate. That's Zach from Paragould. So,
and if my math is correct, if they beat Bama, that's 5-0.
Well, he said they'd be 4-0 and then.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Okay.
So
that's right. And then another 250,000 into the SEC coffers probably.
Well, that would be worth it though. I think we'd all chip in.
We'll pass the hat on that.
What do they call that? Crowdfunding, crowd share, whatever.
That's right.
Crowdsourcing, yeah.
Crowdsourcing. Thank you. Tanner in Tupelo says some of the Cincinnati fans we talked to pregame were convinced that this year's team was better than last year's Cincinnati team. 12-0, baby. Hogs to the playoffs, says Tanner in Tupelo. Isn't that the guy that sings for you guys?
Yes, that is Tanner, a minister in Tupelo.
Oh, a fellow holy man.
A man of faith. So when he says it, and you got to believe it.
It wasn't under the influence then.
No.
Was he a Catholic man? I'm not sure. Right.
I would like to know, because I've never, with the visiting Cincinnati fans that I've ever dealt with, they're all really nice. It's kind of weird with Cincinnati people. You get a weird mixture of Southern and Midwestern hospitality niceness. Like they say y'all, but then they have like Midwestern tendencies to them. Yeah. It's a little weird of a mix.
Yeah. Well, there are airports in Kentucky, so
exactly.
I mean, that's part of it, I guess. I don't know. They don't know how to make chili. I will give them that. They don't know how to make chili. So
Greg from Fort Smith, proud of Trey Knox, his first career multi-touchdown game. He didn't have multi-touchdowns last season. He had 2 today. So, I mean, pretty good day for Trey Knox, who moved to tight end and really did a lot of work to get there. Aaron in Clarksville went to his very first Razorback game today. Said it was awesome. So that's always good to hear.
And they won, so you're allowed back, Aaron.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Rick from Fayetteville, another question about the helmets and what's up with that. Wish we had the answer. Sam Pittman is proving he can win the close games, and I love it. Hey, wait a minute. It says Derek from Fayetteville. Was that you?
That's not me, no.
No, that's not your number in there. All right. Isaac says, even with my hog-filtered goggles, and he says Googles, but it's really goggles, I thought it was a safety. I'm glad it wasn't. Tommy, can you explain how it wasn't?
Okay.
Trying to remember which play we're talking about, because I had a bunch of questions about the
KJ starts to roll, so design roll out right. He goes back to the left, and
his forward progress was in the field of play.
How do you judge forward progress when he keeps going backwards?
Where was he at? Did he breach the end zone? Did he come out into the field of play with the ball at some point in that play before he took himself back?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I believe he was hit at about the 1 yard line and then was downed in the end zone.
The play I got the most questions and referee criticism on Twitter today was the punt play where Arkansas's returner got hit and knocked to the ground, but the ball was down short of the end zone. Y'all remember that play?
Yeah, the ball landed about 12 yards.
And a lot of people wondered why that wasn't a flag. Now, I need to go back and watch it again to make certain of what I'm saying. But the ball was on the ground, right?
Yes.
You can't fair catch a ball that's where?
On the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
So the protection for the return man is no longer the same. This isn't kick-catch interference like it would be if the ball is in the air, you're waving your arm.
The guy that got hit was like 7 yards to the left.
And that was
That was my other
point. Was he was well away and not making any play or attempt on the ball at all. So if you get a flag there, A, I don't think it's merited by rule, but B, it'd be a cheap flag, which I know, hey, we're not beneath a cheap 15 yards
but
backed up to our own field goal, but you can't have a fair catch if the ball has hit the ground.
I think to some extent we've all been conditioned that every big hit is illegal now. And
I agree with that.
you know, we're still playing football, right? Like, this is still football. It's still a physical, tough game.
Allegedly.
Sometimes there's going to be hits that are actually legal. But I think we have been so conditioned as a college football fan to think everything is against the rules now because, you know, there's so many times where it seems like everything is against the rules when there's a big hit. So I think that's the instant reaction is you see a collision, you go, you can't do that. But
I think
that one was fine, I
think you're onto something there. All right, let's go to White County, your stomping grounds. Doyle wants to know, is the defensive backfield scary thin? Kind of got diced up today, Derek.
Yeah, I thought we had someone earlier that said they stink. I don't think they stink. I just think that they're thin. They had, you know, one of the things about Arkansas football, it's going to be very difficult to have all the depth you need everywhere across the board at all times. It's just really, really hard to pull off, not just at Arkansas, but I mean, I think there's maybe 2 teams in this conference that have pulled it off right now, talking about Alabama and Georgia. So when you have a couple of injuries in a game to some key guys, all of a sudden you've got some people that maybe weren't going to be on the field today, but they got to be ready to go. I am not as huge of a fan as Hudson Clark as a lot of people are, but he had they picked on him a little bit at times out there also. But I thought they did better. And I don't know all the differences between man and zone, but when they were trying to cover someone one-on-one, like right on him, I mean, on one of those touchdowns, the guy ran right past the Razorback defender that time. And, he didn't even touch him. Mm-hmm. He didn't even lay a hand on him as he ran his, post pattern to the end zone there.
All right, we got 2 more. Then we're going to hit the break. Clay Henry's also confirmed tonight. It was 10 helmets that came off. He was
10. All right,
he was charting that for us. All right, back to what we're talking about on the safety. And this is kind of the way I remember it, and that's why it didn't stand out to me like it did maybe some others. That Jeremy in Clarksville says, the tackle started inside the 5-yard line. KJ just happened to land in the end zone. That's why I went to safety. I need to go back and watch that. That
but
play
it's
just
not where you land.
Yeah, it's where your forward progress was too.
Well, how come? I mean, just to play devil's advocate here, how come if you're hit at say the 5 and then you fall forward to? I get that's forward progress, but why is it not the same? Why is it where you land if it's forward, but not where you land when it's backwards?
Hey, that's how we do it in the Power 5 over here. Right?
I don't understand it.
It's just how it's done in the Power 5. I know you're getting used to it.
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
If it's where you land when you're forward, why wouldn't it be where you land when it's backwards?
Because that's not how because the word forward eliminates your theory. There's
no
entirely. There is no backwards progress. It's forward progress.
I've always been taught wherever the knee hits, that's where the ball goes.
That's wrong. So, all right, we'll end with this because I know my old buddy here, Derek, loves anything that begins with a good conspiracy theory. And that's the first words. Conspiracy theory, : This is from the 501. Is the helmet issue today the new way to slow down an up-tempo offense? Is it the new fake injury strategy?
That's a great theory.
I love that text. I love
That's a great theory. And, hey, if Lane Kiffin starts doing this at Ole Miss, you may be onto something there in the 501. Absolutely. That's great.
Yeah, so I love a good conspiracy theory to close down the segment. All right, you want to talk to Clay Henry coming up? He's standing by. We can hear what he's got to say. And by the way, because Drew begged for it, we are here Monday for Labor Day. All 3 shows. Morning Rush, Halftime, Ruskin and Zach. There was a game today. We're going to be here Monday. Derek, I know you've got things to say. I got things to say. And, well, Drew will be here wondering about forward progress.
That's right. Yeah, we
Pretty
will be here.
Wraps it up.
All day long on ESPN Arkansas. All right, we'll come back and we'll talk to Clay Henry next here on Hog Reaction on ESPN Arkansas.
This is Hog Reaction live on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Call or text the show at 877-377-6963.
Big weekend of college football getting back underway and a huge weekend of car selling going on right now at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Whether you're looking for an F-150 Platinum, Whether you're looking for a Subaru Forester with a sports appearance package, how about a Chevrolet Silverado LT Trail Boss package truck? We have those and more, priced right, just for you. Come by and see us at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith at Randall Ford.
When you need a plumber, call the name you know and trust. Ashley Air. The same great people that take care of your heating and cooling system can also meet your plumbing needs. Right now, take $50 off any plumbing repair or get a $129 drain cleaning plus a 2-year parts and labor warranty. Restrictions apply. If you have clogged drains, Ashley Air is the one to call. Go to ashley.air.com to schedule your plumbing service. That's ashley.air.com. Proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics.
Make sure you have everything you need this weekend or any day at Four Corks Wine and Spirits. Choose from a wide selection of bourbons and whiskeys, craft beers, and a great selection of the coldest imports in town. Take advantage of the walk-in humidor for an A-list selection of cigars, or enjoy the elegant, climate-controlled wine cellar of hand-selected wines. It's all here at Four Corks Wine and Spirits, just past the intersection of Mazard and Zero Street towards Ben Guerin Park. Four Corks Wine and Spirits.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Ride without compromise. CF Moto's brand new U-Force 1000 XL with 2 3-person bench seats to haul more rear ends as you haul butt. Auto Finders in Adventure, Oklahoma has the perfect CF Moto for any road you choose. Get some serious mud on the tires with aluminum rims, custom paint, power steering, and a 3,000-pound winch. No wonder the CF Moto is Auto Finders' best kept dirty little secret. Ride without compromise at Auto Finders in Adventure, Oklahoma in Roland. Visit a complete list of inventories online at autofindersok.com. Your search ends here.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? Oh, no way, dude. Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
Ask Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith about Shelter's home insurance.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
This is Matt Blaylock for Blaylock Heating and Air and Plumbing Services. We are proud to be a locally owned and operated Fort Smith-based business for over 35 years. We've seen many changes since 1983, but one thing that has stayed the same is our mission to provide the highest quality products, sales, installation, and service to the people we serve, and to give our customers every reason to accept and recommend Blaylock Heating and Air and Plumbing Services as their heating and air and plumbing company. To get a red truck rolling your way, just give us a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
When it comes to your gas bill, one size does not fit all. So AOG offers many payment options. Did you know you can arrange to pay online with the click of a mouse or pay by phone? You can even sign up for automatic bill payment from your checking or savings account. AOG also has a paperless billing option to reduce that clutter in your mailbox. Of course, you can bring your payment to our 24-hour drop box or to one of many convenient locations throughout our service area. To find a payment option that's a perfect fit, visit AOGC.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Hog Reaction.
They give it to Dominique Johnson, misdirects, left side, Johnson at the goal line. Did he get in? Touchdown, Arkansas!
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
We have returned here on Hog Reaction on this Saturday night across the state of Arkansas. Razorbacks with a win, 31-24 over the Cincinnati Bearcats. Tommy Kraft, Derek Ruskin here with you.
You know what would be fun, Derek?
What's that?
You know, Clay's retired now. Clay Henry, you know, the Hall of Famer, the publisher. I bet he's been asleep in his recliner for 2 hours. Let's just call and wake him up. Clay, are you awake? Since you don't have to work on Saturdays anymore? Let's wake up Clay.
I went to the game. Believe it or not, I went to the game.
Oh.
And
did you stay awake?
Got home.
Did you stay awake for the whole game?
I did, and I did just sit down in my recliner, and I've got that little button that makes the legs come up. It's electric. You've always said I needed one of those, so I got one.
You're destined for one that's got that little triangle you got to pull on when you to get out of the chair. That's what you're destined for.
Well, I wish this one vibrated, but it doesn't.
so
that's the only thing it lacks.
Well, maybe for your next retirement party, we'll get you one. But
there's always Christmas.
There's always the holidays.
There was no retirement party, just so you know. I really didn't retire.
There was a party. You just weren't invited. So there was definitely a party. But hey, one thing I might get you for your next birthday gift would be a chin strap, and you can send it to Luke Fickle. Have you ever, I mean, you've seen more games than any of us combined multiplied by 4. Have you ever seen a game where the helmets came off of one team as frequently as they did today with Cincinnati?
I don't remember a season when there's I counted 10. I don't know if that's right or not. I could have missed one.
You didn't chart
I counted 10, and I don't remember a whole season with 10.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy today. So, your first take, you've seen him for the first time. You've had the chance to go to some practices the rest of us haven't seen. Give us Clay Henry's evaluation of the 22 Razorbacks after one game.
Well, let's just say they can play better. For instance, Trey Knox, and I've listened to you guys as I drove home, and everybody sung his praises. He gave up a sack. He let a guy come across his face and come untouched, came right through. I mean, he touched him, but he just shoved him inside, and he just came right on top of KJ. Well, he had a holding penalty that knocked off a big, long gainer in the first half. I'm not sure. He had a hand on each shoulder pad, and then when the runner went past, he didn't release. You just got to turn loose. Mm-hmm. The guy's already by you, so he wasn't perfect, and that's kind of the way I saw the best players on the team weren't perfect. Jalen Catalon, I mean, that's a penalty every single time you drop down and hit somebody below the knees in the open field like that. He was just going to take out that offensive tackle, right, Tommy?
Well, that's a rule change this year. That's the point of emphasis. So you're not going to get it.
But it's always been there.
It's the biggest rule change this year is the blocking below the waist rules and how coaches or how offenses will – well, even defenses, because, I mean, you can't –
No, it's the defenses,
Well, but
you can't do it in open field.
Well, the offenses can't either. I mean, I mean, it is probably the biggest rule change that nobody talks about.
And everybody talked about Ben Bryant missing guys. KJ had a touchdown, a slant. I don't know where he was throwing it. It's 10 yards to the right of the receiver. He hits that pass just about every time. He had a guy open in the flat, threw it low. I mean, he missed 3 or 4 passes that we saw him make routinely down the stretch last year every time. So he can play better. I thought the running backs, weren't sure on their jump cuts a couple of times, which those are things they're supposed to read. That's just not, as you said earlier, that's not scrimmaging enough, and you're not going to scrimmage anymore the way they used to. They're just not going to do it. Where you go live and team with your number one running backs.
So you think I was on to something there? Because I was just kind of
no. I mean, that's the way football is. And early in the year,
I mean,
you're going to be out of rhythm in some of the things that you do.
I just think quarterbacks got to get acclimated to getting hit too. Yeah,
here's what you do every day is your offensive lineman and defensive lineman engage, and they hit.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought those guys were physically tough, and I won't tell you, Luke Bickle's teams are tough, and they had to earn that win today, and they did earn it. And they got ahead, and they held them off, and then they punished them. Now, Cincinnati knows they're going to run the ball at the end. They were loaded up in the box, and to the point where it's 3rd and 9, they covered everybody man-to-man.
Yep.
KJ let him clear, and he took off, and he had open spaces. And that's an experienced quarterback that recognized man-to-man and knew what he had.
There was no one left to stop him, and at 235 pounds running downhill, Clay, nobody wanted any of that. He had a full head of steam. There wasn't anybody left that he hadn't ran by already that could have tackled him short of the line to gain.
I think you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Clay, we've had some people text and call in about the secondary. What was your assessment on their play today?
I thought they were spotty, but they put them in a position that we didn't see them in a lot last year, which is playing straight up. They played a lot of cloud last year, but if you noticed, they were playing 4 defensive line because Cincinnati lined up with 2 tights, which takes, it puts an extra defender in the box. You got 1 less safety, and you put those corners out there on an island, and they got beat a few times. They got to get better. But what did you get? You got 1 great, huge play in the first half by a quarterback, McLaughlin, and he set up 7 points. And so if you want to say, well, the corners didn't do their job, I'll give you that, but they also gave you 7 points when Cincinnati was really, that was the one time they looked dangerous in the first half, that they weren't going to be stopped. And so there's some give and take there, and I thought that there were a couple of times where they had the guys pinned against the boundary, and Bryant didn't have anywhere to throw it. Yeah. And so, like I say, there's some give and take. They've got to improve there, but you're not going to get a lot of pressure against that offensive line. They are really good in pass pro. They didn't get beat last year in pass pro. Maybe by Alabama, but that was about it.
So, what's the biggest area of improvement between week 1 and 2 you want to see next Saturday at 11 a.m.?
I think everywhere.
Well, give us give us an answer.
No. I mean, KJ's got to be a lot better. So let's start with the very best players. Okay.
All right.
Offensive line, they've got to be a little better in the run game. But I think they played a very good front. I think the corners have to be better. I think Drew Sanders can play better. He had 5 tackles. I expected him to make more tackles than that. So the very best players have to improve. If they're your studs, I thought Rocket Sanders was good, but there were a couple of times that his cuts were wrong. I really like Rashad Dubinion. I knew that he was going to probably get more. People were going to like him a lot more than nobody's talked about him from the spring and in the summer, and I knew he was a good player. But the secondary has to get better, and I think Max Fletcher has to get better. He didn't punt that great today, and he's got a really alive leg.
Yeah. That first one was out, almost a shank, wasn't it? It's the way it looked on TV.
I mean, it was like a pop up to right field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, off the handle.
No question. He's got to get better. But I thought they did a lot of good things in the kicking game. I thought their defensive ends played pretty good. Hampton made a play, and they made the offensive line account for them, and that allowed Bumper to make tackles. They didn't touch Bumper. I mean, what do you make 13 tackles today? And they didn't run it much. But I would say, in all respects, they can improve. But you touched on it already. We're not sure that Cincinnati might not be better than some teams they're going to play. Cincinnati has SEC players. Yeah. They're not all the way across the board SEC, but they have recruited well, and they play hard.
Derek, what's that South Carolina score right now?
They're up 28-14 in the fourth quarter now.
Yeah, so they pulled away in the second half. So they'll roll into Fayetteville, thinking that they just about like Arkansas and Rice last year, and I think that's Chuck really nailed that point pretty well. Kind of hate to follow Chuck because he already just, you don't need me, just like they don't need me at Hogs Illustrated anymore. I'm real comfortable to just kind of fade away and go elk hunt next week, boys.
Well, Clay, thanks for taking our call tonight. Glad to hear from you, and we'll let you get back to your nap.
Derek, you've done pretty good tonight. I've listened to you. You did all right.
Thank you, sir. I'm trying my best.
All right. No, you did. You did your best, and that's good enough.
A vote of confidence from the Hall of Famer. How does it feel?
Everybody, not many people know that I like Derek. Not people.
You just told everyone.
Hey, do not tell a soul that I said that, okay?
That's right. Well, there's not many people that like Derek to begin with, so anyway.
There's nobody listening this late anyway, I promise.
I hope you're wrong. Clay, we'll talk to you next week. Have a good Labor Day.
Okay, all right. Thank y'all.
All right.
All right, that's Clay Henry with us here.
Highest of praise for Derek Ruskell.
I know. So. Praise from Caesar right there. All right.
Hey, we got a couple calls. Why don't we hit one last break, come back, take a few calls, and then we'll call it a night.
That sounds good. We are here on Hog Reaction after Arkansas beats Cincinnati 31-24, and we'll be right back.
This is Hog Reaction live on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Call or text the show at 877-377-6963.
Big weekend of college football getting back underway and a huge weekend of car selling going on right now at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Whether you're looking for an F-150 Platinum, whether you're looking for a Subaru Forester with a sports appearance package, how about a Chevrolet Silverado LT Trail Boss package truck? We have those and more, priced right, just for you. Come by and see us at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith at Randall Ford.
WT Equipment is your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. For high horsepower row crop tractors and combines, utility tractors and hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators. WT Equipment has it all. Stop by one of their 8 locations to explore the value of New Holland tractors and see why New Holland hay equipment and twin rotor combines are second to none in harvesting ability. Need to upgrade your construction equipment fleet? Give WT Equipment a call. Come by a store or check out their website, WTEquip.com.
We've invented a new messaging system using the crisp sounds of Bud Light. Crisp Code, Lesson 86. This is how you say, gee willikers, it's a hot one. Let's cool down with some Bud Lights. And that's it for today. Bud Light. Crisp.
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Today is the day. After countless hours of research, cutting back expenses, and 9 months of anxiously waiting for her, today is the day you finally bring home your new car. It's also the day to protect her with an auto policy from Shelter Insurance. Our policies are competitively priced and include new car replacement coverage if anything were to happen to your new baby.
Ask Shelter agents Randy Milam or Brad Howell about Renter's Insurance. What do you get when you pull into Tony's Tire Service? You get the best selection of tires for any car, truck, or commercial vehicle. Tony's Tire Service has Cooper tires and is ready to serve you to get you back on the road safely. They'll also get your vehicle fixed with brake replacements, plus an alignment with the best repair guy in the area. Tony's Tire Service has been serving the River Valley for over 34 years. Come let our guys replace your tires with Cooper tires and our service department to make sure the vehicle has the best brakes and alignments. Tony's Tire Service, 7200 South 28th Street in Fort Smith. Service you can depend on.
Fishing never stops. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle has everything from jigs to raincoats, Todd Huckabee crappie rods, Bobby Garland crappie jigs, and stay warm and dry with a River West rain suit, the area's largest selection of Zoom plastics, Flash Mob Jr., Kitech swim baits, Mega Bass rods, plus rattle traps, life jackets, and rod and reel repair. Find all the top brands and everything you need at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 1 mile east of I-540 on Highway 64. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Building a home can be stressful. This is true whether you're the homeowner or the contractor. Many times these issues result in a lawsuit. If you are a homeowner or a contractor and find yourself needing legal help, call the attorneys at Kevin Hickey Law Partner. With experience representing homeowners as well as non-payment or other issues that could arise during construction. Contact Brad Hull or Kevin Hickey at 479-434-2414 in the River Valley or 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Or check them out at the web at artriallawyers.com.
Kids are back in school, and now it's time for Mom and Dad to have a no sales tax furniture shopping spree. At Prank Roll Furniture, starting August 12th through Labor Day weekend, Prank Roll Furniture is going to pay your sales tax. That's right, sales tax paid on all made-in-the-USA furniture and on all appliances. Family-owned for 28 years, we have in-store no-credit check financing and service after the sale. Come see us at Prank Roll Furniture. Best seats in the house.
For 33 years, Manfield's Automotive Parts City Auto Parts has been trusted as your one-stop for all your vehicle needs. Get a great deal on a Superstar battery and any of the products you need for the do-it-yourself upkeep on your car or truck. When you need work done, Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts does everything from oil changes, brakes, alignments, diagnostic work, air conditioning, and more. Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts in downtown Mansfield is open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and 8 to 1 on Saturdays.
Call World of Wireless if you've recently lost your internet service in the Paris-Subiaco area. World of Wireless, a local internet provider providing service since 2015 to rural Arkansas. We cover areas east of Fort Smith, south of Fort Smith, and rural areas with high-speed internet with plans starting at $49.95 a month. But you got to call us, World of Wireless, 478-6616. It's 478-6616. If you've recently lost service from your internet provider in and around Subiaco and Paris, call us 478-6616 or go to wowfastinternet.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to Hog Reaction.
They give it to Dominique Johnson, misdirects, left side, Johnson at the goal line. Did he get in? Touchdown, Arkansas!
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
We couldn't get out of here without hearing from Eddie in Clarksville on a Hog Reaction after a Razorback win. Eddie, go ahead.
Can you hear me, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
I bet we're going to hear you a little louder.
I'm just making it back in Clarksville. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the fan base. You know, before this game took place, I was trying to fire up the fan base, you know, create an environment called the Hog Pound. And certainly that was a great environment tonight. I mean, the student body, all the fans, hats off to you. And we probably would have lost this game, in my opinion, if it hadn't been for this fan base. And so I'm coming to you with great concern tonight for what I've seen. I wish you gentlemen would answer this. As everybody is saying, it didn't take Einstein to see the secondary. I mean, we got serious issues there. Offensive line, I want to know why they didn't block. We got beat in the trenches. I mean, we're going to get a quarterback killed, and he's not going to make it to the halfway point of the season, and we're using K.J. Jefferson as a running back. And that can't happen. We got to – I want to know this. Why – and you answer this. You know, and I thought he would be more in the offense. It's evident to me Hornsby needs to be out on the field. I mean, we put him in for one play, and what does he take off? You can see his speed, and then we don't put him in at all. I mean, I don't understand that. Coach Piles, and I didn't like your play calling tonight, sir. I'm a Hawk fan, but your play calling's got to get better. And you've got to utilize your weapons. And we got a team coming in here next week. They'll beat our rear end at home. If you come with a game plan you did tonight, if we don't block better than we did tonight, if we don't cover better than we did tonight, and that can't happen because this fan base is a passionate fan base. And that showing tonight should have been a little better in two areas. On the offensive line and the secondary, and you didn't do it. So I don't know what to tell you because you can any team now, you're exposed. And what they're going to do, they're going to come in there throwing that football,
And if you can't cover, you better be blocking. You better control the ball and start getting to where you can run the ball. You know, and so stick to that. Because I'm telling you this, we got players on this team that can run the ball. And we didn't do it tonight. I mean, I would like to congratulate Trey Knox. I mean, most improved player on the team. I like Hazelwood. It looks like he's going to be a playmaker. I don't know where Keyshawn Jackson was at. I don't know where he went. I mean, we got to get – I don't know. But now where we go from here the rest of the season to get the whole train rolling, you've got to get better. One, at play calling, you've got to get your playmakers, figure out who they are, and I'm telling you, Hornsby needs to be out on the field.
And thank you for taking my call. I'll just finish it for him there.
Eddie in Clarksville.
That's not really what I was expecting Eddie to say tonight.
No, I've never heard. I've never heard a play calling take after a win. I don't think I've been doing this a while. I can't remember that. But
Eddie is usually the glass is not only more than half full; it's overflowing. So that's a little out of character for Eddie.
I was surprised how much Clay Henry was nitpicking some of the game today too.
Well, he was letting facts get in the way of a good Trey Knox story. He did have. Boy, that was a bad sack that he just olayed there and the hold call. But my point, you still got to feel good for Trey Knox. And Eddie's right. Most improved player. The one I guess I scratched my head at a little bit, Derek, is Warren Thompson. All we've heard through camp is how he's the most improved, been very consistent, not dropping the ball. 2 catches today, 22 yards and 4 targets. I was hoping you'd see a little more for him. He had a chance early and didn't get it. But, again, Arkansas is going to get coaching just like South Carolina is going to get coaching this week, and I don't think we've seen the best yet from this team.
No, and you frankly, and I think Chuck talked about this earlier, you don't want to see the best game in game one because you can only go down from there. So you need this balance. You want to win, number one, but you also need some things that have to get better moving forward. Out of the first game, this game played out as perfect as it could for a Razorback fan. Number one, you won the game, and number two, you've got things to critique. Yeah. So it all played out perfectly for an opening game, I think.
All right, let's take our final call of the night. Eli is in Walnut Ridge. Eli, you got the last word tonight.
Yeah, first thing I'd like to start out with saying is Blue Pig, we want to know. But I got a question, and I'll give it to you, and I'll just hang up and listen. If it's something you've already talked about, I apologize. But was there not a flag, or should there not have been something whenever the guy got nailed trying to catch a punt or a kickoff or whatever that was?
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Something, but
yeah.
Well, service was spotty or radio signal spotty, and I thought y'all might have been talking about it, but I couldn't really understand.
Yeah. Well, good question, Eli.
I apologize.
No. We'll be glad to talk about it again. My best because I remember watching it, I looked at it again. Ball was already on the ground. There was no a chance for a fair catch. Y'all remember it any other way, Derek? Drew?
I think so. It was like it was almost simultaneous, right. Maybe. But yeah, I think that's right.
So the rule is, for a return man in that situation to have the protection, there has to be a fair catch opportunity. Well, you can't have a fair catch opportunity once the ball's hit the ground. You can't fair catch a ball that's touched the ground. So he just becomes another player. Yes, he got hit and knocked to the ground, but he was a good, 7 or 8 yards to the left of the football?
To 12.
He was making no play on the ball.
No, he was in the neighborhood. He wasn't trying to catch the kick. Yeah.
I don't think the hit was intentional either. I think they just ran into each other. Neither one of them was kind of looking where they were going.
Yeah.
Football is a contact sport.
For now it is, yes.
Until the Rules Committee meets again. But, Eli, my interpretation of that is, and I think I'm right on this, is the ball had already hit the ground. Therefore, there is no kick-catch interference opportunity for a flag or anything of that nature because now if it had been flagrant, it had been forcible contact, you could have had maybe unnecessary roughness. But I don't think the play rose to that level. But the reason there wasn't what we're accustomed to seeing, which is someone's waiting to return a kick and they get their head knocked off, well, there's usually a fair catch involved. And on this play, there was no valid fair catch involved because the ball had hit the ground, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. All right. Thank you, Eli, for the phone call there. Yeah, I don't think he was making an attempt to field the punt or the kick there as another thing there. He wasn't near the ball. So
74,751 there today. Great opening crowd. I can just tell you this. They keep winning. They get to 3-0. That Bama game is probably already close to a sellout, but it'll be a sellout ahead of the A&M game, and everything will be kind of in place for what will be presumed to be a 4-0 start. They've got to get past South Carolina, who, I don't want to get too carried away buying into tonight's outcome of the South Carolina game, which was, I hadn't seen the snap yet, but was much closer than it should have been just looking at the final score. But I think this Arkansas team, if healthy, and I think there's some question marks with that secondary with Catalon and Slushin, are they going to play next week? Assuming they play, I think we all, at least I feel, I don't know how you guys feel, I feel like Arkansas's chances of winning more comfortably next week, I feel much better about.
Yeah, Rattler's thrown 2 picks tonight, and he's completing 61% of his passes, so he's not having a good game. Now, they're up 35-14 in the early stages of the fourth quarter against Georgia State, but it's kind of like everything else we've talked about, where if something didn't go wrong in the opener, that player is going to be keyed up to kind of fix it next week. So will we see a sloppy Spencer Rattler? Yeah, maybe. But he's also going to be working all week to try and correct some of his mistakes like everybody else in the sport is too.
Yeah, should be fun, and I think it'll be a big crowd for an 11 a.m. game. It'll be a late arriving crowd, as it always is for an 11 a.m. game. It'll take them a little while to let the mimosas kick in before they get real good and rowdy. But I think you're going to see another 70-something crowd. I don't think it'll be 74 because of the time of the game, but I think you're going to see another big house. And I think you're going to see an improved KJ. I think you'll see an improved offense. I got questions about the defense from a personnel standpoint, but guys, we've seen Barry Odom work his magic, and give him a week or two, and I think that secondary will be worked out. If it doesn't, Bobby Petrino could have some fun, picking on that secondary, because there's a guy that knows how to find a mismatch.
Hey, I was watching some of that game Thursday, and Missouri State's got a quarterback that is difficult to bring down. At least for UCA, he was. So he was extending plays and making stuff happen. And if you're not dialed in, he can be a problem for somebody. And Missouri State's nationally ranked at the FCS level. So they're not sisters of the poor coming in here.
All right, want to remind you, Labor Day's coming up, but we're going to labor. We're going to be here for the morning rush because we got to have a game today. We need to talk about it. We'll be here Monday with the morning rush, halftime, Ruskin and Zach. Also Monday morning, the second edition of the Giving the Hogs Chuck podcast will drop at 6 a.m. So you can get up and on your Labor Day enjoy your coffee, enjoy your morning routine without having to go to work. You can listen to the morning show. You can then at 9 you can listen to the podcast and just stay with us all day long. You guys got big Labor Day plans? Big weekend plans?
I'm headed to Little Rock after this. Other than that, no.
You're a glutton for punishment.
Yeah. So. Well, I'd rather drive tonight than tomorrow.
Yeah. Then back?
I'm going to drive back tomorrow because I got to get to work on Monday. But the only reason I'm doing this,
I should have signed you something to do tomorrow. I'd have saved you the gas.
I'm meeting with.
It's not too late.
I'm meeting with a couple of my friends that that I got ordained for to do their wedding. So this is the final meeting.
Are you going to counsel them prior to their marriage?
Yes, this is the marriage counsel session.
What are some of the questions you will ask tomorrow?
How is money? How is
can't hide money?
Can't hide money.
Yeah.
How's everything in the bedroom? Got to keep that fresh. And my biggest question is, next round's on you, right?
It's so.
And if I get good responses, all three of those, then you're golden.
So I'm going to be clear. Have you been married?
I've been engaged twice.
So someone that's never been married is going to counsel someone that's about to get married.
Priests do it all the time.
Here's what I know about being the minister at a wedding is as soon as you get the first plate of food and the check, that guy is out of there. Yeah. He is gone. All right. That's going to do it for our Hog Reaction Show. For Drew Barrett, Tommy Kraft, Derek Ruskin, saying good nights here on ESPN Arkansas. The Razorbacks win the opener 31-24 over Cincinnati. And we'll talk to you all on Monday.